So it looks like you're trying to decide between Poland and Hungary.
Two incredible places.
Yeah. And you've been doing your research?
You'd have a lot of notes.
Tons of notes and articles.
Yeah.
So you're really focused on the details here.
The nitty-gritty.
Yeah, like how much things cost jobs, immigration, and how well you think you'd fit in.
Culturally.
Totally smart move. Right there with you.
Yeah, and it's interesting, because both these countries were part of the Soviet bloc.
Right.
But they've taken kind of different paths since then.
Totally. So let's just start with like a snapshot.
Okay, big picture.
What are the overall vibes?
So Poland has the biggest economy in Central and Eastern Europe.
Wow.
And it's attracting these big multinational companies.
Like cool.
Google, Microsoft, especially in their tech hubs like Warsaw,
Okay.
Krakow. We're even seeing the startup scene kind of popping up in Wrocław.
Interesting. Looking at your notes here.
Yeah.
And it seems like IT professionals in Poland are making like 20% more than their counterparts in Hungary.
That's significant.
Yeah, but what about Hungary?
Right.
Your notes say something about a lower cost of living, especially in Budapest.
Budapest is definitely easier on the wallet.
Okay.
You could probably find an apartment in Budapest.
Oh, wow.
In like a historic building for the price of a tiny studio in Warsaw.
Really?
But outside of the capital, jobs are a bit more limited.
Right.
And wages aren't quite as high.
Okay, so there's a trade-off then.
Exactly.
Higher earning potential in Poland.
Yeah.
But then maybe higher costs too.
Could be.
So this is where your detailed notes come in.
This is it.
What are your priorities?
What are you really looking for?
Yeah. Are you all about that salary?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it more about just like a comfy lifestyle?
Even if it means making a little less.
Exactly.
Mm.
Okay. Let's talk about getting into these countries.
All right.
Visas, work permits. What's the deal?
Okay, so this is interesting.
Okay.
Poland uses this thing called the EU Blue Card system.
Yep.
It basically makes it easier for skilled workers from outside the EU to immigrate.
Okay.
So if you've got skills that are in demand, this card is huge. It gives you a fast track to residency and work permits.
Wow. How fast are we talking?
I'm looking here, it's like 3 months.
That's it?
Yeah, which is actually faster than Germany or France.
Wow. Okay, what about Hungary?
Hungary is a little more complicated. It's a more complex process and fewer opportunities for non-EU immigrants.
So EU citizens, no problem in either.
Exactly, free movement all the way.
But for someone like you, that blue card in Poland
It could be a game changer.
could be a game changer.
All right,
So that's a big one
big one
to consider.
for sure.
Okay, let's be honest. Polish and Hungarian,
Not easy.
not exactly known for being easy languages.
Not at all.
How big of a deal is that going to be?
Well, the good news is you'll find a lot of English speakers in Poland,
Okay.
especially in those big companies and cities. The booming industries, you're interested in a lot of those young professionals speak English.
But what about when I want to go explore,
Right.
outside of those major cities?
That's a good point.
Will I need to know at least some Polish
Or Hungarian.
or Hungarian?
In those smaller towns, local language skills are going to be essential.
In both.
Yeah, in both.
Okay.
So think about how you like to learn languages.
Right.
Are you up for that challenge, or would you feel more comfortable starting somewhere with more English speakers?
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, so let's talk about
A little bit of a sensitive topic.
social attitudes towards immigrants in each country.
Okay, so in Poland, it's a bit nuanced.
Okay.
They're actually seeing a lot of Ukrainians coming in,
Right.
and there's growing diversity, especially in the cities.
Okay.
But the overall political climate is more on the conservative side, especially when it comes to non-European immigrants.
Yeah, I'm seeing that in some of the articles.
There's some debate about integration and acceptance, especially outside the urban areas.
Okay, what about Hungary?
Hungary has stricter immigration policies.
Okay,
And the government's been pretty vocal about wanting to limit migration.
I see.
So that definitely has an impact on the overall social climate.
Right.
And it could be more challenging for non-EU immigrants
Okay.
than in Poland.
So this is something to really think about.
It is.
How important is it for you to be in a place that's really embracing multiculturalism?
Right.
Would you be comfortable in a place that might be a little less welcoming?
You have to decide what matters most to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about quality of life.
Okay.
What's daily life like in Poland?
So Poland's cities are really modernizing.
Right.
They've got great public transportation, lots of green spaces,
Mm-hmm.
and they're expanding their cultural venues all the time.
Cool. I'm seeing here Krakow's known for its beautiful architecture.
Yeah, and a really thriving art scene.
And Poland also ranks high in healthcare and education.
They do.
They've even got international schools popping up.
It's a great place for families.
Seems like it. What about Hungary?
So Budapest is steeped in history and culture. I
Yeah.
mean, stunning architecture, thermal baths, vibrant nightlife, and of course that affordability we talked about.
Makes it tempting.
It does, but keep in mind, outside the capital, those services and amenities
Yeah.
may not be as developed as what you'd find in Poland.
Okay, so picture this.
Yeah.
You're walking through a bustling Polish city.
Okay.
You know, you've got access to great healthcare and schools, or you're wandering through those charming streets of Budapest, maybe taking a dip in those famous thermal baths.
I like that one.
Which one feels more like you?
It's a tough choice.
Okay, let's dig a little deeper into healthcare and education.
Okay.
I know those are really important to you.
They are.
So Poland's public healthcare system, it's known for being
accessible and affordable.
Yeah.
You also have private options available if you want.
okay. Their education system,
Highly regarded.
it is. And those international schools,
They're growing,
especially in the bigger cities.
especially in the bigger cities.
They've got generous family support programs too.
Yeah.
Child benefits, parental leave.
Yeah, that's a huge help if you're relocating with a family.
Wow, Poland seems to have a lot going for it in those areas.
It does.
What about Hungary?
Hungary's healthcare is affordable,
Okay.
but it might not be quite as comprehensive, especially once you get outside of those big cities.
And the education system.
It's good,
Yeah,
but there aren't as many international schools outside of Budapest.
got it. I'm also seeing that Hungary offers family benefits, but it seems like they're mostly focused on families that are native born.
There is a bigger emphasis on traditional families in Hungary,
Okay.
but they do offer some support for immigrant families,
Like,
especially with things like childcare.
so it seems like if you're thinking about starting a family,
Yeah.
or if healthcare is like your top concern, Poland's system might give you more peace of mind.
I think so.
But if it's all about affordability and that vibrant city life,
Yeah.
Budapest could still be really appealing.
Right. It all comes down to what matters most to you.
We've covered so much.
So much information.
Poland's got that strong economy,
Yeah.
the blue card system, those great public services. But Hungary's got its own charm.
Yes.
Affordability and that unique culture.
Tough call.
It's a tough call.
Yeah. I think we need to take a break. Let all this sink in.
Agreed. Let's take a moment to process everything we've learned.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll see if we can help you get even closer to making that decision.
Absolutely.
Stay with us. Okay, so I hope you had a chance to process all that.
I know it's a lot.
Yeah, tons of information.
You really threw us a curveball with your research.
Yeah, well, you know,
Both countries.
they both sound amazing,
They do.
but they each have some serious pros and cons.
Depends what you're looking for.
So let's try to boil it down.
Right.
It seems like Poland's got the stronger economy and it's easier to immigrate there.
Yeah, especially with that blue card system.
Yeah, and the healthcare and education systems seem pretty amazing.
They are impressive.
But then on the other hand, we've got Hungary.
Right.
If affordability is key, Budapest looks like a winner.
It really does.
But you might have to work harder to learn the language,
Mm-hmm.
and it might not be quite as welcoming.
Yeah, at least compared to those big Polish cities.
Okay, so Poland for career and stability.
Mm-hmm.
Hungary for budget-friendly culture.
I like that, but it's not quite that simple, is it?
No, it's definitely more nuanced.
Right, like if your career is your top priority,
Yeah.
Poland's tech scene, especially in those big cities,
Yeah,
it's got a lot to offer.
we saw the salary numbers.
It's a big difference.
Yeah, but let's say you're drawn to Budapest.
Mm-hmm.
That charm, that lower cost of living.
Right, maybe you're freelancing,
Yeah.
or you can work remotely, so salary isn't the deciding factor.
Right.
Hungary could be a great choice then.
You could prioritize lifestyle,
Yeah.
cultural immersion.
That brings up something interesting from your notes.
Yeah,
You mentioned wanting to learn a new language,
I did.
so that could be a big factor.
Right.
Polish is tough,
Uh-huh.
but it's considered a bit easier than Hungarian.
Okay.
And you'll find more English speakers in Poland, at least when you're starting out.
But wouldn't learning Hungarian be incredible?
It would be so rewarding.
Especially if you want to really immerse yourself in the culture.
Absolutely. It all comes down to your learning style and how important that is to you.
Yeah.
Would you rather ease into it with Polish,
Right.
knowing that you can get by in English a lot of the time?
Yeah.
Or are you ready to jump into Hungarian,
Yeah.
knowing it'll be a lot harder but maybe more enriching?
Okay, so big decisions.
Big decisions.
And we can't forget about the social and political stuff.
We can't.
We've seen that Poland has a more liberal scene in the cities,
Mm-hmm.
but the overall politics are more conservative. And then Hungary has those stricter immigration policies.
Right. The government's been pretty upfront about wanting to limit migration.
Yeah. So this is where your own values come in.
Absolutely.
How important is it for you to be in a place that's really welcoming to everyone?
Right. Are you okay with navigating a place that might not be as open?
Tough questions.
Yeah. And remember, things can always change.
That's true.
Policies shift, social attitudes evolve.
Right.
Always good to stay informed.
And keep doing research.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've gone over the pros and cons. We've talked about your priorities.
Yep.
But I think the big question is...
which country feels right?
Exactly.
And I don't think there's a magic answer.
No.
It really depends on your situation, your values.
What kind of lifestyle are you picturing?
Yeah. What are your non-negotiables?
And what are you willing to compromise on?
Are you picturing yourself building a career in a super dynamic tech hub?
Okay.
Or maybe you're thinking about slow walks through historic streets? Right.
Enjoying a slower pace of life.
Both are great options.
They are.
We just want you to have all the info you need
To make the decision.
that feels right for you.
This deep dive is just the beginning.
There's always more to learn.
More nuances to uncover.
Talk to people who have actually lived in both countries.
Yeah.
Find some online forums or expat communities.
Right. Read books. Watch documentaries.
Get immersed in those cultures.
Exactly. And most importantly, trust your gut.
Yeah.
You'll know when you've found the place that clicks.
You know one thing that kept popping up in your research
Oh, yeah?
that we haven't really talked about yet?
What's that?
Travel.
Ah, travel.
You mentioned wanting to explore
I did.
outside of whichever country you choose.
Yeah.
So this decision isn't just about settling in one place.
It's about opening up those travel opportunities.
Exactly, both within the country and to neighboring countries.
So let's talk travel.
Okay.
Where would each country put you on the map? Yeah, it's funny how just thinking about travel can sometimes make things clearer.
It really can. Sometimes all you need is to picture yourself exploring a new place.
Totally.
Oh.
Okay, so we've talked about like traveling to those nearby countries. But what about travel within Poland and Hungary themselves?
Well, in Poland, you've got those amazing Tatra mountains.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine hiking there on the weekends,
Wow.
surrounded by incredible views, or hitting the slopes in the winter.
Sounds incredible.
It is. And then there's the Baltic coast with all those cute little seaside towns.
Oh, yeah. Sopot Gdansk.
Exactly. Perfect for a relaxing getaway.
I can just picture myself walking those cobblestone streets,
Yeah.
stopping for fresh seafood by the harbor.
It's idyllic.
It does sound idyllic.
And of course, we can't forget Krakow.
Right.
It's a must-see if you're going to Poland.
I saw something in your notes about underground salt mines.
Oh yeah, near Krakow.
Have you been?
I have. They're amazing.
What are they like?
It's like a whole other world down there.
Wow.
These intricate carvings, underground chapels, all carved out of salt.
That's going on my list.
It's really unique.
Okay, what about Hungary? What kind of adventures are waiting there?
Well, you can't talk about Hungary without mentioning Lake Balaton.
Oh, right. The biggest lake in Central Europe.
Exactly. It's super popular for swimming, sailing, or just hanging out by the water.
Nice.
And there are all these charming towns and villages around the lake,
Oh, wow.
each with their own vibe.
I also see here that Hungary is known for its thermal baths.
Oh yes, especially in Budapest.
It's like a spa heaven.
It is. Budapest has tons of thermal baths.
Wow.
Some of them go all the way back to Roman times.
Seriously?
It's not just about relaxing, though. It's
Oh, man.
part of the culture. People go there to socialize, to de-stress, and to enjoy the benefits of those mineral-rich waters.
I already feel more relaxed just thinking about it.
Me too.
You know what I'm curious about, though?
What's that?
Those hidden gems.
Yeah, those lesser-known regions.
The places most tourists miss.
I love finding those spots.
Me too. And I know Poland and Hungary have to have some.
Oh, they do?
Okay, tell me about them.
So in Poland, you could check out the Białowieża Forest.
What is that?
It's one of the last and largest primeval forests in Europe.
Wow.
Incredible biodiversity.
I'm seeing pictures here of European bison just roaming free in the forest.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
Amazing. Okay, what about Hungary? Any hidden gems there?
Definitely. You could go to the Buck Mountains.
Where are those?
They're in northern Hungary.
Okay.
It's a region with rolling hills, dense forests, cute villages.
It's peaceful.
It is perfect for hiking, cycling, exploring caves and castles.
So it seems like no matter which country you choose,
You'll have plenty to explore,
endless adventures.
both near and far.
That's what's so cool about this decision.
It's not just about picking a place to live.
It's about opening up a whole new world.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
we just encourage you to keep exploring, keep dreaming, and trust that voice inside that's telling you where to go next.
You've got all the information.
You've weighed the options.
Now it's time to listen to your heart.
Poland or Hungary.
The choice is all yours.
And we know no matter what.
It's going to be an amazing journey.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time, happy travels.